So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Today's subject is one that I'm going to be dissecting, and I'm going to be dissecting it from several perspectives and angles. I'm going to be dissecting it as a first daughter like Imade. I'm going to be dissecting it as a mother like Sophia, and I'm also going to be dissecting it as a lawyer. So listen carefully and pay attention till the very end of this video. Don't skip any parts. About 2 weeks ago, social media was awash with these really adorable videos of Davido and Sophia's daughter Imade emerge winner at her school talent show competition, and we couldn't help but shine our 32 watching her perform with such talent and carry herself with charisma. A real star in the making. Her mother, of course, was there to cheer her on as she always does, and Dada shared a clip of him and his baby girl on a video call, showing that he had called her to congratulate her shortly after. He also took to social media to say this: "My superstar won her talent show at school today. Super proud of you, baby." And then he tagged her Instagram account. He didn't stop there. He picked up his princess and they went on a spin together.
Yeah, but guess what? Let me tell you something. The one that the person that you gave the money now is very lucky.
Which one?
The one that you gave the money.
You share. If you don't share, they will beat you, man. If you don't share. When you share,
You could have just waited till the afternoon.
And then they wound up having lunch and sharing deep dada and baby moments together. And believe me, I was so happy. We all were, right? Anybody who knows the love that exists between the average man and his first fruits, his first daughter especially, would understand. And again, it was beautiful to see that joint participation from Sophia and Davido. Now, if you have followed me for a while, then you should already be aware of my stance about co-parenting, the importance of daddy and mommy in the life of a child in their developmental makeup. Now, I've always said, mommies, if that man does not pose a threat, or if that man is not a danger in the life of that child, do not oppose his involvement. Do not fight him having a share of that child's life. I know that he may have messed up. I know that he may have hurt you. I'm the one that is always here fighting for my women who have been hurt. I understand your pain, but let us try to put the interest of the child above our pain. Find a way, find strategies to co-parent, because the impact of a present and loving father in the life of a girl child cannot be overemphasized. And I have studied the life of many successful, solid, purposeful, driven, confident women, and the foundational structures are very similar. The presence and the validation of their fathers. And this impact does not only show in how they turn out or the quality of lives they live, it also shows to as far as the kinds of spouses, the kinds of men they attract and get married to. They do not suffer fools gladly. Check high-flying women, even within this our Nigeria. Many of them, most of them, if not all of them, have spouses that enjoy their wings stretched, traced to the examples that their fathers laid for them. I was watching mommy, the late mommy Onyeka Owenu the other day, and I was like, I can relate to her every word.
So talking about that, you know, Obie Ezekwesili used to have a saying on her Twitter page: "Forever validated by my dad, who taught me never to condone nonsense."
She's her father's daughter.
You put it in the book.
Yes, I did. I did. Yes. There are many of us.
Yes.
I know them when I can spot them a mile away.
Yes. Yes.
They don't give a damn either.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
They've been loved by the first man in their life. the person that mattered most to them. And growing up, she was raised with that sense of resilience, that sense of self-worth. You never lose it. And that's why she's who she is.
Yeah.
I named quite a few of them.
Yes, Chimamanda,
Yes.
Adichie, I think Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
You and Chief Dosumu.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she's my good friend.
Yes.
And we understand that about each other when we meet. We laugh and we joke and we talk about.
Yeah.
And you see what they are doing, making sure that they uphold their father's name. It's very important to us, because that person that gave you such deep love, the person that loved you best, you love back best. So you can't, in fact, you can say anything about me, you can do anything, you touch my father, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
Even when my mom tried, he said, okay, let me now tell you about that, your father. He wasn't all that perfect, you know. This, that. I took it all in. I said, good, but I still love him to pieces.
You do not excite these kinds of women when you tell them that they are beautiful, because daddy has been telling them since they were 1 day old. When mommy told them that they are beautiful, it was a compliment, but when daddy told them that they are beautiful, it became their whole identity. These kinds of women do not drop their panties to reward you because you bought them a gift. No, their daddies have shown them that they are deserving of care, and he has already serenaded them. They come with the audacity and confidence that is not learned from books or podcasts. They're there. They do not give a damn. And no, not in a promiscuous, arrogant, or defensive way. In an unbothered way that exudes self-grace. They do not care for male or public validation, because daddy has set the tone already. Now, this is not to say that if by reason of circumstances the father is not available in his daughter's life, it is all over for that daughter. No, they can still turn out very right, and they do. Right? What I am saying is that that presence, that input may create an easy buffer for these things. And just as I came out here to criticize a Ned Woko for not allowing joint custody of his children to Regina, so also I would say to a woman that if a man, emphasis on if a man, does not pose a danger or threat to that child, his presence and involvement should not be resisted. Now, this is the issue here. This is what makes this case even more dicey. You know, prior to now, we were under the impression that it was a no contact thing, that Sophia has excluded Davido from coming near his child. And we revolted, we resisted that position. Sophia, who, by the way, is doing an incredibly amazing job in their daughter's life. Have you seen the way that child is turning out? Kudos to Sophia, she is doing great. Now, with these new facts, videos, and pictures showing Davido bonding with his daughter, it is now clear that Sophia is not resisting involvement per se. What she is doing is refusing custodianship. She is like, you can speak to your daughter over the phone, you can come pick her up and go for ice cream, you both can relate and have a relationship, but you cannot have her. But bring her back to me same day. But I remain primary caregiver and sole custodian. I am not sharing custody with you. She is not spending the night at yours. She can't join you on holidays and family vacations. She remains mine to keep. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Follow me. And if you're new here, you see that face for the first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, drop your thoughts down in the comment section, join our exclusive channel. All right, let's go back to this video. There is so much that you will learn from there. Let us go back to this video. So, these terms and conditions apparently didn't sit too well with Davido. And he has argued that this is my child too. I am this child's father, and I have as much rights over this child as you, her mother. That decision is not yours to make. I have been responsible for my child, school fees, housing, transportation, and all whatnots. I do not want my access to my own daughter to be regulated and determined solely by her mother and dependent on her mother's mood. He is saying that she has used that as a bait, as a weapon to manipulate, punish, and extort me in the past. Besides, I am a married man now. I want structure. So let the court of law set it out straight. My time with my child and her own time with the child. Let it not be upon her discretion. I do not want to be at her mercy. I want to know my rights and I want formal recognition of shared care. And so he went to court seeking joint custody of the child. His counsel filed a custody suit on the 17th of April 2024. What is it? That's almost 2 years. Wow, how time flies. It was filed at the Lagos State High Court, the family court in Yaba, against his former partner Sophia, seeking joint custody. Listen, emphasis on the word joint. Let us get our facts right so we can be in a better position to give candid and balanced advice and reactions, right? So because I have heard several places, oh, why would a man want to take custody of his daughter? He is not asking for sole custody. He is asking for joint, shared, meaning he and the mother will share custody of the child. And he supported his petition with a 44-paragraph affidavit. Sophia, through her own lawyers, countered Davido's petition on the 5th of July 2024 with a 102-paragraph affidavit, denying his claims about him, in fact, denying all his claims and arguing that he had largely abandoned the child since 2022. Now, that hearing before Justice Bashau saw very dramatic exchanges. Sophia accused Davido of making late-night visits to demand sex from her and then neglecting the child if she rebuffed his advances. Okay, now the court immediately referred the case to ADR, that's Alternative Dispute Resolution, under the Lagos State Settlement Program, for the parties to calm down, rub minds together, and see how they can reach an amicable resolution that can work for them without the court having to impose on the both of them. Now, ADR is like a formal meeting where the parties or their lawyers or both parties and lawyers together come together on a round table. They know themselves better. They know their schedules better. They know their history better. They know their child better. Nobody can know them more than them. The judge or the court cannot know them more than them. So in most family cases, the law prescribes that the judge will refer the parties to ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. Let us try and mediate before litigate, right? Because litigation is ugly. So let us come together on a round table and see whether we can agree. And when we agree, we'll now present to the judge. Oga Judge, see our agreement, we've come to a middle ground. Then the judge will now adopt that agreement as judgment. So it has proven to be a very effective tool in conflict resolution, especially when it comes to family matters. So they were both sent to ADR, and I do applaud the court's wisdom in doing that, because not only is it a standard settlement initiative for ADR to be explored, but if we look at this case as human beings, honestly, with an open mind, let us keep fanship aside. I am nobody's freaking fan. I belong to everybody and I belong to no one. Boo boo. Buhari 2015. So let us keep fanship aside and look at this case as human beings. We will see that the both parties have points or have a point. That's the truth. On Sophia's part, she has a solid argument. She's saying, I'm not comfortable leaving my young child long time with a man, a stepmother, and a family that does not like me. Because one that does not like me is not capable of loving my child. She is saying that Davido now lives in America. That's his permanent base, although he still comes to Nigeria to do business. A whole new continent. And that he's busy, he travels, he's on tours from here to there. Who takes care of the child? Who nurtures her? Another strong argument on Sophia's part is that this is a young female child. And with what has been happening, plus all the ragamuffins in his company that might be coming in and out, she might not feel safe for that young female child to be outside her watch. And again, let us not forget that there is a history of attempted forceful takeaway, almost like an abduction, where many years ago, when the child was still a baby, Davido and his family tried forcibly taking the child away. So there's that history. And she can also say, this child already has a stable life with me, so why should we disrupt it? Now that's on Sophia's part. Very strong. Seems and sounds reasonable, right? On Davido's part, he is like, it is my parental rights to have this child just as it is yours. We are both parents, so you do not have a higher right over this child than me. Secondly, I have been discharging my functions in the life of this child, and with obligations come rights. With duties and responsibilities come benefits. So I cannot be a parent on paper without being a parent in emotions, in involvement. I want to have a feel of my child. He is also arguing that that child is being used as an exploitative tool by the mother. So whenever he's in her good books, she allows him see her go out, but whenever there is tension, then the relationship will be affected. He doesn't want that. He wants some stability in that relationship. And he is also arguing that he is not unsafe. He is a music artist, does not mean he automatically becomes unsafe. So why can't I have that bond with my child? Now you can see that the both of them appear to have very strong points. And the situation, the truth is that all things being equal, with some compromise, some maturity, some flexibility from the both parties, some resolution, some agreements may have been met. And no, just because a man is busy or is in the entertainment industry does not legally disqualify him from his custody rights. That is not how the law works. When Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt split, the court granted joint custody of their children. Same as Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Same thing happened with Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise. Even when Seal and Heidi Klum split, the court granted joint custody. Davido is not busier than Ben Affleck. Even Chris Brown, with his appearance, the tattoos, even with his record of domestic violence with Rihanna, with all his homies wearing tattoos and looking like ragamuffins, he still has joint custody of his daughter, Royalty, that he had with Nia. Usher, with all his tours, Davido does not have as much tours as Usher, was awarded not just joint but primary custody of his two children after his divorce from Tameka. So what the court examines is not entirely who is busier than the other. What the court considers is simply the best interest of the child. Will adequate provision be made for that child? So if these two parties could calm down, go to the drawing board and sketch up what would have been a no victor or no vanquished situation. Maybe Sophia says, okay, I keep her through during the school period. The holidays, she can spend it with daddy. That's joint custodianship. It doesn't mean that joint must be 3 days in a week here, 3 days in a week there. Then the seventh day, two of them will stand in front of Mr. Biggs and share it. The child will open one leg here and open the other one. No, that's not joint custodianship. It can mean, okay, weekends. Friday evening after school, she can spend with you. Saturday, Sunday morning, she comes back. And that should only happen when you are in Nigeria. And that should only happen with maybe my auntie, my relative, with my eyes. That is some flexibility being shown. But the parties in this case are standing at the extreme ends of their wish. And let us not forget that there is already existing very bad blood between them. So the fight certainly is being done with hostilities rather than consideration and clarity. Let me add here, just as a short reminder, that our book is now up on Amazon. So even if you're in Nigeria, I've gotten so many comments about, oh, what about if I'm in Nigeria? You can buy on Seller. You can buy soft copies, you can buy hard copies from Amazon anywhere you are in the world. Okay, it is a very powerful resource for single people and married people who are seeking clarity, who are seeking self-awareness, who are seeking answers to their many questions, who need a guide to name and point out things that they're experiencing but are confused about, or who even want to avert the mistakes that many married people have made. Powerful book. I'm getting all your reviews. I am excited. Thank you so much. You can scan the code to get one or click on the link down below.